Some of our dreams need a little money. This list is where we begin. We need to have some idea of how much we need to save and how we will save that. There may be part of you rebelling already. Relax. Of course you don't know the future, but it will serve you to imagine one scenario. The enemy of a good plan is the search for a perfect plan. Make assumptions and then change them when you get better ideas or better information. Our goal is to enable these possibilities. Let's pause here to consider some simple arithmetic. This set of videos is not about retirement, but for most of you, saving for retirement will be the biggest item on your plan, by far. Hopefully you have a long time to save for retirement, so I want to share 2 guidelines that will help you choose an appropriate goal for your investment plan. If you reach retirement age in good health, there's a good chance that you, your spouse, or both of you will enjoy 30 years of retirement. A good rule of thumb is that you'll need 25 times what you'll draw from your savings for 30 years of retirement. For example, someone may wish to retire at age 65 on $60,000 a year. If they expect $20,000 a year from Social Security, then they'll need $40,000 a year from their savings. Now that means they'll need to save 25 times $40,000 or $1 million to be fairly confident you won't run out of money if you live to age 95. You may want half this or twice this. It's a personal choice. The guideline does account for inflation and most stock market scenarios, but assumes your money is invested wisely, which we'll describe in later videos. Invest money you'll need soon very conservatively, like in a money market or a bank CD, definitely not the stock market. On the other hand, money you'll need beyond 10 years really must be invested in a portfolio of stocks and bonds, and that is what most of my videos will help you understand how to do correctly. But Rick, you say, the stock market is way too volatile. Correct. This is a history of annual returns of large company stocks. In any given year, the value might fall by half. Look what happened in 2008. Now let's look at the historical outcomes for holding stocks still longer. Each bar represents the return after holding for 10 years. Sometimes people lose money after holding 10 years, like 2008. But most of the times, stocks outperform an even bigger risk, inflation. Your risk of losing your investment in the stock market is small over a long holding period. Your risk of losing the value of your investment due to inflation is much larger. This is why you must invest, and you need an investment return bigger than inflation. Suppose you wish to retire in 30 years and inflation is just average. Every $1,000 you earn today will be worth only $410. But wait, does this chart suggest we should own only stocks and hold them for a very long time until we need that money? It's true our investments would grow, but we can't change the volatility of the stock market. Remember, we saw that in any given year, your stock holdings might lose half their value. We'll see in rule number 3 that each year we want to gradually convert some of our stocks to bonds so that we don't hold too much risk by the time we need the money. A popular guideline we'll discuss later is to own your age in bonds. We're going to continue working on your plan all the way through rule number 10. Right now, it probably looks like you're going to need a lot of money. Okay, so how much do you need to save? Here's a short answer that works for most young adults. 5% of your gross paycheck for those big ticket items and another 10% for your retirement. And if you haven't already, you should use the very first money you save to establish a sound financial lifestyle before investing for the future. I have a separate video about this. If you get a paycheck, you already get a large slice withheld for various taxes. This is just a guideline. It will vary from state to state, individual to individual. Our human behavior is such that if we don't see it, we don't miss it. So a time-proven strategy for saving is to pay yourself first with that 15% automatically deposited. Here's a balanced budget that works for many people. See how this works for you. It applies 45% of your gross income to essential expenses you need, and 15% to discretionary or fun stuff. Initially, you might be thinking, you need everything you spend money on. Use these questions to get at your true foundation expenses. Could you live in safety and dignity without this purchase? If you lost your job, would you keep spending money on this? Could you live without this purchase for 6 months? If you withhold money from your paycheck to pay for your taxes, and you pay yourself first with automatic deposits for those future savings, then you really don't need a complicated or cumbersome budget. You simply spend what you have left. You get to spend $1 for fun expenses for every $3 you spend on those essentials you need. Some of you might correctly be thinking, hey, you're only young once. Maybe I should be saving 10% for those big ticket items and only 5% for retirement. This is a trade-off that only you can make. Time is your friend, and you'll see in this next very short video example how you can harness the power of compound interest by starting to save early. Find other explanatory videos, smart tips, and links to useful resources at financinglife.org.